Welcome to Kampot Cambodia. I'm determined to take you on an adventure to cross the river. Our first day and the second day. It took me 2 days to do it, but we did it. No one told me that it was beautiful here. The river is stunning. I just walked 2 blocks through some kind of scruffy looking bars. The famous ones for the old guys hanging out with the young girls. Anyway, and then I walked over here and I went like, whoa, really amazing, nice. And the air feels so good. The camera doesn't quite get it for us, but just take my word for it. This is the next day. I came back to actually walk across the bridge about 11 o'clock because dusk was not the right time. But this time I could walk across. And here is the new bridge in the distance. It's for the cars. I wanted to see if I could tell you the story of what happened when I was crossing the bridge. Actually, it was the night before that I went over there. The first night I was here, I wanted to cross the bridge. It was one of the first things I thought would be a good thing to do. And it turned out to be 6 o'clock after we saw the views of the dusk and the reflections on the water. It was so beautiful. But then it was 6 o'clock and there was no way I was going to walk across the bridge because it was as bad as Phnom Penh traffic. The old bridge is only for motos and tuk-tuks and supposedly for people to walk, but not really, unless you know the right time of day. Certainly 6 o'clock or rush hour is not the right time of day. So I did go back the next day, and so that's what the next pictures are. I took a video of I did walk across, and it was about 11-ish. It was getting close to noon, and I thought about that too. I wondered if it was going to be traffic-y at lunchtime for people going home for lunch, because people probably do go home for lunch here too. Lunch is earlier than Spain time. It's like from 12 to 1 normally, or 1 to 2. So anyway, I walked across and it was okay. I asked at the tourist office, which that little building's right next to the bridge, the old bridge. He said, oh yeah, you can walk across. And I said, well, do I walk in the middle? He said, yeah, you can walk in the middle or over to the right. So when I got there, I went, there's no way I'm going to walk in the middle. It was not that wide. But I walked over on the right side, and there's kind of an almost sidewalk there. And so I walked across, and it was fine. It was okay. There was a lot of traffic, but not too much. I mean, it was not scary, not impossible. So, and then I walked straight down. I looked on the map because there's supposed to be a nice coffee shop just right to the left from there, but I couldn't find it. So I just walked down and I took a picture of the chickens and just looked around, went down one street, looked down the other street, looked at my map, walked down just straight down for a while. And then I thought, I really want a coffee shop now. So I saw a place that said English. In English it said guest house. So I said, okay, I'll go over there because maybe they speak English. I don't speak Khmer yet. I will. I'll get there. So I went over there and I sort of looked in the windows and sort of knocked on the door, pulled on the handle or something. And a woman came from outside over to my right side and just came ambling over and smiling and like that. I said, hi. And then she called somebody else. And I thought, oh, she's calling somebody who can speak English. And so they're both there now. And I'm trying to tell them that I'm trying to find a coffee shop. And so by that time, one of them was trying to sort of understand and trying to tell me something. And then as we keep doing this, going back and forth, and I'm trying to tell them what I want, and then somebody else comes, or somebody else comes anyway. I don't know. And by the time I'm standing there for a few minutes, there's a whole crowd. There's like 5 or 6 ladies all standing around. And by that time, we're having a great time. And I'm trying to say that I'm looking for a coffee shop. And there is somebody there who pretty much understands what I'm saying. And so I said, well, can I just keep walking down this street and then I can turn left and I'll go back to where I came from, like go around the block kind of thing. And they said, no, you can't, don't do that. Just go back the way you came and go to the river, which is where I was, and then to the right, which is where I thought the coffee shop was that I was going to, was. And so I did that. I went back the way I came and I went to the river crossing where the bridge is, turned right, and looked for a coffee shop, but I didn't see anything that looked anything sort of like, not just a little stand with iced coffee drinks. It was not what I wanted. There is a big coffee shop place there on the corner, on the other corner, but it was too much touristy looking, and I didn't want to go there either. But there is a place there that you can go if you walk across the bridge. In fact, it was probably a nice place, and it was like tall, 2 or 3 stories, and I think there was a place you could go upstairs. I should have done that and had a nice view, but I didn't. So I'm standing at the sort of entryway where the road goes onto the bridge, just standing there, thinking maybe I should get a ride, and someone stops in a motorbike, has like a almost uniform kind of shirt on, a grayish, nicely ironed, pressed shirt, and a helmet that looks pretty respectable. He's not a kid, and he's not, going to work or something. And so I say, and he stopped there. I say, do you want to give me a ride across the bridge? And he says, I don't know if he said yes, but at least he nodded and we were communicating. So I said, okay, how much? I always say how much. I was learning to say that in Khmer, but there's no point. Everybody knows what how much means. So he said, $1. I said, okay. And then I climbed on. It's been a long time since I've gotten on a motorcycle. I used to like that a lot. This is a little bike. And I started put my feet on the little pedals sticking out almost like a bicycle, those things. And climbed on and clutched onto his shirt on either side. And we went tooling across the bridge, the river. It was really fun. It was more fun than walking, actually. And so then he said, well, where do you want to go? And I said, pointing over towards there's a great big yellow building that was it was restored to be a fish market and now is a Starbucks. So I said, yeah, that's the Starbucks because it's a great landmark. It's just a few feet, half a block or so, a few feet down from the tourist office place I said was right by the bridge, so it's right down there, right there. So I said, yeah, that's a great place. And he was sort of asking me if I wanted to go back, and I said no, because I live over here where we are. And so then I'm digging for my money, and I bring out to 10,000 real. I still haven't really got the hang of the money yet because it's in the thousands. So when I get a lot of it, I think, oh, I have a lot. But then when I start to spend it, I think, oh, that costs a lot, but it's not really. So anyway, I pull out a 10,000, which is 4,000 is $1. So it's like $2.50. Is that all? No, it's a little bit more than that, I guess. Oh, my math is bad. Sometimes it's really good, but right now I'm too flustered about telling you the story. So I didn't have change to give him. All I had was that 10 and 10,000 and some little 500s and 100s, which are nothing. They're like 25 cents, maybe. So he calls to somebody that's driving by, and one of these tuk-tuk things that's a beverage with a stack of long canes, like sugar cane. And so I've never stopped before because I really didn't know what it was. I thought, well, if it's cane juice, I don't really want sugar juice. It's going to be sugar juice, and I'm sort of off sugar, try to be. And so I haven't gotten any before. So, but anyway, he stops. He kind of almost turns around and pulls over there. I don't know if they knew each other before or not, but maybe. Didn't matter. And so my driver tells the other guy what's going on, and I'm just holding out the 10,000 like I'm going to get change from it. And then I realized, oh, I have to buy a drink, of course. So I said, yeah, oh yeah, I want a drink. And I go around and I look at what he's got there because I hadn't really looked at him before. I've gotten the coconuts where you get the coconut drink. Those are great. Those are really good. Anyway, so I say, yeah, I want one of those, a drink. And he puts the cane, the sticks, there's these long sticks, into this grinder thing, and I walk around so I can watch what he's doing. And he puts them in this grinder machine, and outside the grinder machine comes the hulls from the sticks. You know, it's like sticks, canes. And inside, underneath, is a place to catch the juice. And so that was fun. I'm watching him do it. And I got my juice, and I tasted it, and I went, yum, yum. It's good. And I gave him the 10,000, and he gave my driver 2 of those, or he gave them all to me. My driver, we were sort of holding them out between us. My driver takes 2 of them because each one's 2,000, so he takes 2 of them, and the man with the drinks takes 2 of them. And then I'm looking at him and I go, like, is that all I have left? Which. Anyway, we were all having a good time by then. We were all out in front of the Starbucks on the street. We all started laughing then. And yeah, that was it. It was a good time. A good time was had by all getting back across the river on the. I think that was my first. I'm sure it was my first moto taxi ride. They were all quite gentlemanly, both of them. Cute and nice. Okay, which reminds me how that whole thing started with the 5 or 6 ladies telling me how to get back over to where I was going to find a coffee shop. It was sort of the same thing, because by the time I finished talking to them, everybody was all laughing and smiling. It was a good trip across the river.